There is something you need to hear before you scroll any farther, because I do not believe you found this message by accident. Out of millions of videos, your eyes stopped here at this exact moment. And sometimes, heaven speaks in ways that seem ordinary until we realize they were never ordinary at all. Maybe you have been carrying a heaviness that no one else can see. Maybe you've been smiling while quietly wondering why everything suddenly feels harder than it used to. Maybe you've prayed for a sign, asked God for direction, or simply whispered, "Please show me what I need to know." If any of that feels familiar, then stay with me, because Archangel Michael has an urgent message for you today. This is not a message of fear, but of awakening. There are moments in life when the unseen world draws closer than ever before, when heaven reaches into an ordinary day because a soul is standing at a crossroads that will shape everything that comes next. I believe this is one of those moments for you. Before another distraction steals your attention, before another voice convinces you that this is just another video, listen carefully, because what you are about to hear could change the way you understand everything that has been happening in your life. There is an invisible battle surrounding every person, a battle between fear and faith, hope and despair, truth and deception. Most people never recognize it because they are consumed by the noise of everyday life, but lately you have sensed something different. You have felt exhausted in ways that sleep cannot explain. You have questioned yourself more than usual. You have noticed certain relationships becoming heavier, certain opportunities disappearing without warning, and an unshakable feeling that something bigger is happening beneath the surface. You wondered if you were imagining it, but Archangel Michael says you are not imagining anything. The atmosphere around your life has shifted, and whenever someone begins moving closer to the purpose God has prepared for them, resistance often increases before the breakthrough arrives. Michael, the great defender, the bearer of the sword of truth and the shield of divine protection, steps into moments exactly like this. Throughout history, countless believers have described his presence not as terrifying, but as deeply peaceful, as though every fear suddenly lost its voice. Imagine for a moment a brilliant sapphire blue light surrounding you from every direction, wrapping around your heart, your mind, your home, and your future. That blue light represents heaven's protection, reminding you that no darkness is greater than the light of God. Michael wants you to understand that you have never been fighting alone, even during the nights when you felt abandoned. There were battles taking place that your physical eyes could never see. There were prayers that continued rising long after you thought heaven had become silent. There were moments when God protected you from things you never even knew were approaching. The greatest mistake people make is believing that silence means absence. But heaven often works most powerfully in the unseen. Michael's message today carries both comfort and warning. He says it is time to stop giving away your spiritual strength. Every hour spent replaying painful conversations, every moment wasted seeking approval from people determined to misunderstand you, every lie you believe about your own worth becomes a small opening through which fear quietly steals your peace. The enemy rarely destroys a life in a single dramatic moment. Instead, peace is stolen little by little, one anxious thought, one toxic relationship, one compromise at a time. Michael says enough. Stop carrying guilt that God has already forgiven. Stop believing that delays mean rejection. Stop returning to doors that heaven deliberately closed for your protection. Some relationships ended because they had fulfilled their purpose. Some opportunities disappeared because they would have distracted you from something far greater. Some disappointments were actually acts of divine mercy disguised as loss. You have spent too much time questioning why certain people walked away, when perhaps the better question is why God refused to let them stay. There are individuals who drain your spirit while pretending to support your dreams. There are voices that plant doubt while disguising themselves as wisdom. Discernment is one of heaven's greatest gifts, and Michael is asking you to protect your peace with the same determination that you protect the people you love. Not everyone deserves unlimited access to your heart. You can forgive without reopening doors that God has closed. You can love people from a distance when necessary. You can release what no longer belongs in your life without carrying bitterness. Remember every battle you have already survived. Remember every night you thought you would never recover. Every morning you forced yourself to keep moving, even when your heart felt heavy. You are still here. That is not an accident. That is evidence that God has carried you farther than you realize. Michael says, your story is not ending in defeat. Your future has not been canceled. Your breakthrough has not been forgotten. Seeds grow beneath the soil long before anyone celebrates the harvest. And in the same way, heaven has been preparing blessings that are still hidden from your natural eyes. What feels like waiting may actually be preparation. What feels like delay may actually be protection. Trust the timing of the one who sees every beginning and every ending at once. Today, Michael asks you to release every fear that tells you it is too late, every regret that keeps you chained to yesterday, every anxious thought that steals tomorrow before it arrives. Lift your eyes beyond your circumstances. Stand taller than your doubts. Speak with authority instead of fear. Picture Michael raising his sword, cutting away every invisible chain that has wrapped itself around your spirit, every lie spoken against your identity, every burden that was never yours to carry. Imagine that brilliant blue light growing brighter until it surrounds you completely. Take a slow breath and repeat these words quietly in your heart. Archangel Michael, surround me with God's holy light. Cut away every fear that no longer belongs to me. Protect my mind, my family, and my future. I walk forward in faith, courage, truth, and divine peace. Amen. Stay in that peace for just a moment. Let it settle deep within your soul. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not that circumstances change instantly, but that your heart becomes stronger before they do. And when your heart changes, everything else begins to follow. If this message spoke directly to you, seal this moment by typing, "I claim this protection," or simply "Amen" in the comments as your declaration of faith. Every time you choose faith over fear, light over darkness, hope over despair, you take another step toward the life God has been preparing for you. Subscribe if you want to continue receiving daily messages of encouragement, spiritual protection, and divine wisdom, because there are more truths heaven wants to reveal. Until we meet again, may the peace of God guard your heart. May Archangel Michael stand watch over every step you take. May every hidden danger be removed from your path before it reaches you. And may you walk into the days ahead with unwavering confidence, knowing that you are protected, guided, deeply loved, and never alone.